Alright guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. We're going to talk about Dave Chappelle getting canceled. Again. How many times has this guy been canceled? Dave Chappelle getting canceled again. Another comedy special that's rubbing people the wrong way, including the showrunner of Dear White People. Yeah, the showrunner of Dear White People, very, very angry about some comedy of Dave Chappelle's. Yeah, not exactly what I was expecting as the showrunner of Dear White People, a show that is about, according to Wikipedia, a show that follows several black college students at an Ivy League institution, touching on issues surrounding modern American race relations through a progressive lens. This is where we're at, guys. This is where we're at in 2021. A white person running a show called Dear White People that's supposed to highlight what's like to be a black person going to college, following black people as they go about their lives and how their experiences are different than those of white people. The white showrunner of Dear White People is calling out Dave Chappelle, a very successful black comedian, for making what they consider to be transphobic jokes. Here we are. So we're going to talk about this. Try to be objective here. Trying to be objective. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Over 236,000 subs. Thank you so much for the support. We do talk about pop culture. We do talk about Netflix, and this is sort of some Netflix on Netflix action, because Dear White People was a bit of a hit, I think, for Netflix. And now the showrunner is threatening to boycott Netflix because Dave Chappelle has some spicy comedy. I think Dave Chappelle has been canceled about 20 times in the last 2 years, right? Dave Chappelle got canceled for Sticks and Stones. Every time he releases a new comedy special on Netflix, he gets canceled by somebody. But this one's actually coming from one of their own showrunners, the white person behind Dear White People. Anyway, this is coming from the New York Post. We'll talk about it. Critics call to cancel Dave Chappelle again, and Netflix for ridiculing trans people. Cancel culture is threatening to shut down Dave Chappelle's The Closer. The always outspoken stand-up comic is pushing the public's buttons again, and a swelling wave of culture critics and activist organizations are calling for his brand new Netflix special to be yanked from the streaming giant's catalog. The special, the sixth and final, so he's going out with a bang, I guess. The sixth and final in the Emmy winner's big bucks deal with Netflix premiered Tuesday and immediately stoked the flames of controversy with incendiary jokes about transgender women. This is Dave Chappelle's brand, for better or for worse. Everybody knows it by now. Dave Chappelle says mean things. He does. He says mean, nasty, nasty things. Nobody's safe from Dave Chappelle. That's the kind of comedy he does. If you don't like Dave Chappelle, don't watch Dave Chappelle. You should know by now. He's had 5 other specials. You tried to cancel him last year too. If you hated this one, why did you watch the new one? Chappelle, age 48, is also being accused of defending problematic comments by DaBaby and Harry Potter author JK Rowling. How very dare you defend anything JK Rowling does? As well as deflecting criticism he faced for cracking wise about the trans community in previous specials, Equanimity and Sticks and Stones. Now, disclaimer, I haven't watched the special. I don't know how bad the things are that he said. That being said, this is what he does. This literally is his brand. He says mean things about people. Everybody. He says mean things about everybody. He is the last of the old school kind of shock comedians. One of the last ones left. Definitely from the George Carlin, Richard Pryor, early Robin Williams school of comedy. Anyway, in The Closer, Chappelle declares that he's joining Rowling and Team TERF, the acronym for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminist, and conflated rapper DaBaby's homophobic statements at a show over the summer with systemic racism. In our country, you can shoot and kill an N-word, this is the New York Post, quoting him. YouTube, don't get all ass mad. I'm just reading what he said. But you better not hurt a gay person's feelings, Chappelle said on stage, referencing a 2018 shooting incident involving the rapper at Walmart. The brewing backlash is ample, but perhaps most shocking is the reaction from one of Netflix's own. Is Jaclyn Moore, executive producer and showrunner of the streaming giant's Dear White People. She bluntly declared herself done with Netflix. I was just shocked that the current year, when everybody's trying to be so politically correct, that you would let the showrunner of, one of your highest profile black series be white. I'm just saying. I was very confused. I thought everybody had to stay in their own lane. I thought everybody, like, if you're going to talk about the black experience and you're going to produce a show about the black experience, being black seems to kind of be a prerequisite for that. Kind of, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy. Anyway, Jaclyn Moore. I love so many of the people I've worked with at Netflix, brilliant people and executives who have been collaborative and fought for important art, but I've been thrown against walls because I'm not a real woman. I've had beer bottles thrown at me. So Netflix, I'm done. I'm very sorry to hear that. This is me talking. Very sorry to hear that, Jaclyn. I am. But, I don't know if Twitter is really the place to have the conversation like this. You might want to call up Netflix, unless you're just trying to cause a shitstorm. Does this work anymore? Are they going to cancel Dave Chappelle? I don't know. Everybody knows what he does. Glad said Chappelle's brand has become synonymous with ridiculing trans people and other marginalized communities. Everybody knows this is the kind of comedy he does. Let's see. The National Black Justice Coalition, a civil rights advocacy group focused on the LGBTQ plus community, goes so far as to prod Netflix to pull The Closer from its menu. And yet they don't have a problem with Dear White People being run by a white person. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. Not saying I agree with the kind of humor that Dave Chappelle does. I'm just saying it's a little weird. With 2021 on track to be the deadliest year on record for transgender people in the U.S., the majority of whom are black transgender people, Netflix should know better. They should know better. So yeah, everybody's smacking Dave Chappelle upside the head, except Kim Kardashian. I guess she's calling Dave Chappelle and Ellen DeGeneres, these two canceled people. Well, Ellen's not canceled. Ellen's got a kid show coming out about being a good person. That's anyway. Reps for Chappelle and Netflix have so far declined to comment officially on the negative buzz, but the comic did address the LGBTQ plus community directly in The Closer, saying he harbors no hate for them. Oh, I'm jealous. I'm not the only black person that feels this way. We look at the gay community, we go, GD it. Look at how well that movement is going. Look at how well you're doing. And we've been trapped in this predicament for hundreds of years. How the F are you making that kind of progress? Yeah, I know, right? Like, only in America, right? That's the American dream. I don't know. Very weird. Dave Chappelle said, I'm not fond of the newer gays. You like the gangsta gays, according to Dave Chappelle. Too sensitive and too brittle. Those aren't the gays I grew up with, according to Dave Chappelle. Again, YouTube, I am reading the damn article from the New York Post, quoting Dave Chappelle. I'm not condoning anything Dave Chappelle has said. I'm just reading the news. You have to spell it out for people because they review these videos and they think you are personally saying these things. This is the news. This is the news. Multiple news outlets talking about it. I'm just saying. Anyway, he said that people are pussies. Basically, he said people are pussies now. People are pussies. I think that is actually very, very true. People don't like Comedy, raw comedy for sure. You know, and look, I mean, Dave Chappelle is an acquired taste, but I think he's just sick of everybody being so damn sensitive about things. You know, everything. It's not just this, just like everything. Like his last special, he roasted the hell out of everybody. So Chappelle rails against cancel culture amid the closer controversy. Sold out crowd in LA. If this is what being canceled is about, I love it, he says. I don't know what to tell you except I'm a bad mother effer, told to a crowd of 18,000 people. The outspoken stand-up star then got more pointed and specific. F Twitter, F NBC News, ABC News, all these stupid-ass networks. I'm not talking to them, I'm talking to you. This is real life. He said to loud roars from the crowd, according to the Hollywood Reporter, because we didn't actually watch it. No, I didn't actually watch it either, so I have no idea what happened. Chappelle is responding to the torrent of criticism he is receiving following Tuesday's release of his sixth and final Netflix special, which some have blasted as transphobic. They canceled JK Rowling, my God. Effectually, she said gender was a fact, and then the trans community got mad as shit, and they started calling her a TERF. Look, personally, I think somebody should have taken Twitter away from her. She was like copy and pasting, like anti-trans screeds attached to kids' pictures and shit. I was like, okay, somebody's had a little too much pumpkin juice. I'm just saying. Anyway, I agree, man. Gender is a fact. You have to look at it from a woman's perspective. Jaclyn Moore, white showrunner of Dear White People, disagrees. His shadow is huge, Moore told Variety Thursday while detailing her boycott of Netflix. He's a brilliant, goofy comedian. He's brilliant as a political comedian. He has been brilliant for so long, but I don't think because you've been brilliant means you're always brilliant. Moore transitioned during the pandemic. Told Variety she decided to speak out on Twitter because Chappelle's material on the transgender community felt different than his earlier takes. No, I'm thinking it's called I Want Attention. This is a conversation that could have been had with executives at Netflix if you had a problem with it. Now, does it personally affect you? What Dave Chappelle's doing? You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. For sure. I'd probably be pissed too. If I'm being honest, I'd probably get pissed too. But, this conversation should, like, if you're going to rage quit Netflix, you do it behind closed doors. What these people do and what happens a lot of times is it blows up in their faces. They try to make a big deal about it on social media. This is my letter of resignation, my letter of indignation. And sometimes it blows up. Sometimes it backfires. Netflix might look at the numbers for Dave Chappelle and be like, well, don't let the door hit you on the way out. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. So it is another day that ends in Y. On the bright side, he only had a 6 special deal with Netflix. So I don't think you'll have to worry about Dave Chappelle anymore on Netflix. And if they give him hassle over this, I don't think he's going to want to go back to Netflix. He'll probably wind up on Fox or something. Who knows? I don't know. I'm going to wrap this one up. There we go, guys. Today's big pop culture story. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we'll talk later.